This villain was too good for the show he was on. A man who is equivalent to the ARROWVERSE's Joker. A man who almost single-handedly redeemed the entire show after its massive pitfall in 2015. A character who could have marked a golden age for the ARROWVERSE, specifically with the show Arrow, making it the best show of the ARROWVERSE as it should be. Then the writers decided to do this. I like to break things down technically from a storytelling level, from a fundamental storytelling level without emotion. Okay, I try to rewrite stories that Hollywood is doomed. But I'm gonna be honest, I might be going full schizo in this video. This video is me at my worst, but this show deserves it. One of the main things that bothered me from Smallville, which I love, it's my childhood show to this day, is I wish there was more badassery with Superman. I wish we got to see some fight scenes, more fight scenes. They had a couple good ones, but because of the low budget constraints and the fact that it's Superman, there's only so much you can do with him if you're on a budget in a CW era. That's fine. There was a lot of things that disappointed me about Smallville as a show in the action department, but Arrow more than made up for it. We were coming off the heels of The Dark Knight Rises. There are fight scenes upon fight scenes upon fight scenes here. There's no superpower, godlike superhero here. This is just Oliver Queen fighting people, and the first season was so bad. It is my favorite season of the show. Him and Malcolm Merlyn's rivalry is everything. For the first introduction to a superhero show, for a CW era television show, this was great. Season 2 amped this show up to the new level of popularity with Slade Wilson, one of the best Arrowverse villains of all time. Not the best developed villain. A lot of the writing behind his motivations is very lazy and forced, but a pretty badass villain. Season 2, while I don't like it as much as Season 1, Season 2 is like, in many ways, is when Arrow peaked. Not to mention, Oliver and Felicity is at its best here when they're a will they, won't they, and not actually together. I liked Felicity a lot in Season 2 and 1. I liked her and Oliver a lot. And you know what? I was okay with them maybe getting together instead of him and Laurel because I actually thought they had more chemistry. Season 3's trailer came out and we saw this. A glance at Ra's al Ghul. I'm a huge Ra's al Ghul fan. I'm a huge Batman fan, and Arrow pretty much is Batman. That's what they made that show. And when I found out Ra's al Ghul was going to be the villain for Season 3, me and my friends lost our shit. We were anticipating this show more than anything, for God's sakes. And then Season 3 came out. And how was it? Well, it was alright for the first half, pretty decent. And as soon as Oliver gets into a fight with Ra's al Ghul on the cliff and gets kicked off the cliff, stabbed, this show died with him. Here's where we enter the trenches, y'all. Now, the second half of Season 3, after the mid-season finale where Oliver falls off a cliff, is not terrible. There are a lot of redeeming qualities about it, but it's surrounded by so much flailing feces. I liked a lot of the stuff with Ra's al Ghul and Oliver. I don't like the fact that he gives Oliver his position, like, I want you to be the new Ra's al Ghul. I think that's stupid. We're getting too Batman-y. It's too high a jump up for Oliver in the third goddamn season of Arrow. And Ra's al Ghul's too high up a villain for Oliver, personally. But I liked Oliver getting trained in the league, getting trained by Ra's al Ghul. We needed more of this. Unfortunately, we get this for a couple episodes where we know Oliver's clearly a double agent. We should have had this one storyline go into Season 4. Ra's al Ghul is a villain that needs an expansive, multi-season story. This guy's like the Thanos. Why are we treating him like he's a beta Loki, for God's sakes? No. Listen, I like Ra's al Ghul. This is hot. All right, this is hot. I like her. I think Oliver and her should have gotten together at some point instead of him crying about Felicity all day. They almost got married, for God's sakes. But all this, all these idiots, except for Diggle. I like Diggle still, but Laurel bitching and moaning, Felicity and Ray Palmer have an entire love triangle plotline which kills everything. We go from badass Oliver moments to this dumb shit. This is the beginning of Cry era Felicity, where she cries about everything. That's her throughout the entire season. This is when I wanted her assassinated. I liked Felicity a lot, y'all, but this was getting too much. And then it has one of the worst season finales ever. I'm sorry, guys. Ra's al Ghul dying the way he does. Oliver getting saved by Felicity, who's wearing fucking Ray's suit. And then we have that cringe end scene where this is pretty much like a series finale, the way they end. It's like, oh, can I say something, Felicity? I'm happy. Get blown up in this car, y'all. It was fine with me, though. Daredevil Season 1 came out this time. I was peaking superhero-wise. Arrow, go fuck yourself. You can have your show, CW. I was fine with Daredevil. I was satisfied, but Season 4 of Arrow, I still continued on. We're in hell. We're in hell. Now, fundamentally, there are two types of fans that usually come at me when I get into what I'm about to get into. We have the fans who say, oh, season 4 wasn't that bad. It's disappointing. Season 3 and 4 were disappointing, but they're not that bad. They're pretty good overall, Zafy, in the grand scheme of things. You're just going crazy and hating on it for clicks. You kinds of fans are worse than any other fans. You're the bystanders who sit back and watch the molestation happen and do nothing about it. You're the reason why many of my favorite shows have gone to shit, because you allow the writers' complacency to expand beyond space-time. You are the people, you're the kinds of fans that allowed the MCU to be destroyed. You are the kinds of fans that sat back and watched the Disney Plus shows and decided, yeah, you know what, these are pretty good, fun, Phase 4 is pretty awesome. You are a cancer to my favorite pieces of fiction. Go fuck yourself. Olicity fans, the next tier in the tier of absolute mental illness. Now, a lot of these fans, I just want to give you a summary of what I witnessed this firsthand on Facebook groups, threads where these fans were creating messages and boards and posters. They were DMing Stephen Amell, sending him threads, posters, getting him, trying to convince him to break up with his wife, leave his family, who he has a child with her, for God's sakes, divorce her for Emily Bett Richards or Rickards or whatever, the actress for Felicity. They were trying to make this happen actively. I was there in these Facebook groups while this was happening. They were sending this guy DM after DM after DM, making memes and posters and GIFs for him, trying to hook these two up in real life because the characters being together wasn't enough. This is a sickness. This is a disease of the highest order. And this dumb fuck, the new showrunner, Mark Guggenheim, saw all these Olicity fans, these nut jobs, these psychopaths, and was like, yeah. And I think he probably was in love with Emily Beck, with Felicity as actress. I think he was. Because he made the show about her. Because of this, he allowed Arrow to become this. This picture symbolizes everything that Arrow became. Look at this shit. Season 4 happens. The worst season of television maybe ever produced by the CW. There are some Flash seasons that could give it a run for its money. Don't get me wrong, they're later Flash seasons. But this, for what Arrow was, how did we go from season 2 to this shit? It's Felicity and friends. I gotta see drama with her and her parents, her and her annoying ass mom who cries all the time. Felicity turns into Oracle. She gets put in a wheelchair, Barbara Gordon style, and has a goth persona of her speak to her. There's a whole subplot about this. There's a whole subplot where Oliver Shine proposed to her and she rejects him because he lied to her about his son. He didn't tell her about that he had a son. She's crying the whole season about this. Meanwhile, in the beginning of the season, she lies because her and Oliver are supposed to be off living normal civil life. She's been helping Team Arrow the entire time without telling him this is a hypocrite. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Trash fights. They're filmed well. They're not as quick cut edited as they were in the first seasons, but Oliver loses every fight. He trips over himself fighting low-level thugs. This guy got trained by Roz in the last season and he's become this pathetic. Damien Dark I like the actor who plays him. Great charisma. A great personality, but the problem is he doesn't belong on the show. He should have been a Flash villain. That's how he's powerful enough to nuke the entire world. He can descend all the nukes upon the entire world. He has the force. He has like magic powers. And why are we doing this dumb shit where we're nuking the whole world? Why is Felicity redirecting a nuke and destroying an entire town? Why is this even a plot in Arrow? And then we have the worst final fight of all time, in the worst series finale I think I've ever seen in my life. And these are two League of Assassins members, expert martial artists. That's their fight. It's worse than Bane and Batman's fights in The Dark Knight Rises that a lot of people have problems with. This is two crackheads fighting. Horrible. And then Laurel dies too on top of that. We're going to kill Laurel off because we're solidifying Felicity's place at Oliver's side. We need Laurel to die. The one that's supposed to be with Oliver from the get-go. And then the season ends with Felicity saying, I'm not going anywhere. Symbolizing we're doomed as a fan base. The real Arrow fans, not the Olicity fans who are psychotic. The real Arrow fans are suffering. Now, I know I go off on Felicity a lot. I think Emily is a good actress. Attractive woman, attractive character. She's hot. I love sexy librarian looks. You know that. But the problem, she's very attractive, but the issue with this is not like Lana Lang where she needs to go. She's a problem for the show, but I love her. So I don't want to see her go because I'm in love with her. She's like a toxic ex. Problematic as fuck, but she's so hot, goddamn. No, I want Felicity dead! I want Felicity dead! Fucking kill her! You should have killed her from the get-go! I want her dead. She ruined my show. I hate all of you who allowed this to happen. I want her almost as dead as this motherfucker. Okay? Oh, God. Season 5. Listen, the trailer, I had no expectations going to Season 5 or Season 4. Season 4 was dog shit. But Season 5? Okay, we got a noticeable improvement. You know, the action's much better. Oliver's beating people's asses like he should. It's filmed well. James Bamford directed a lot of this, so obviously it's going to be good. He's a killer too. This is how they pulled people back in, because Oliver was a wuss in season 4. So we're getting badass Oliver now. They show him kill people in the first episode after Laurel's death because he's just enraged, and they show it in the trailer. This is literally made as a marketing push. It does not help the story at all, and I'm going to tell you exactly why this was problematic for the season as a whole. But it was cool to see Oliver as a killer again. The season as a whole, if we're taking objectively, there's a lot of things about it that are mid as fuck, okay? There's too many characters. There's an entire team of idiots that no one cares about now that are joining. Some of them are better than others, don't get me wrong, but Evelyn Sharp, for example, is one of them who, she literally has a twist. She turns evil halfway through the season, halfway through the show. And we don't know why. This isn't fleshed out, and we never hear from her again after this, okay? Felicity is still shite. She has an entire subplot where she's part of this hacker cult, and it sets up a villain hacker for the next season, and it's just bad, and she's lying to Oliver every 2 seconds, even though she's being a hypocrite and wanting him to tell the truth. I just want her dead. But the problem is the show puts her on a moral high ground, so we're supposed to care for her and think she's a goddess when she's not. I liked Talia al Ghul's introduction and how she trains Oliver in his flashbacks. I liked her coming in as a villain. I liked all that. But the real G of this, the one that elevated this season to redemption status, is Prometheus, Adrian fucking Chase. Now remember Zoom from Flash? Remember the aura he had before the mask came off and ruined everything? Remember the aura he had, the most intimidating villain we've ever seen in our lives. This is the bane of Flash. Prometheus had similar aura. I'm not saying he was as no one was as scary as Zoom, but he had similar aura. That's what the mask, the voice, all that shit. The best theme of any villain ever was Prometheus, by the way. It was like a Joker, clown, Bane theme all put into one. But when Zoom took off his mask, it didn't match the aura that he had beforehand. When Adrian Chase revealed himself, it's a great twist because we thought he was Vigilante the whole time. But I was initially disappointed because I was like, really? This guy? I thought it was gonna be Tommy or someone that was gonna be Prometheus. Josh Segarra, I thought he was overacting a lot when I first saw him. The way he talked is like, you don't want to know what hell is, Mr. Queen. I was like, why does he sound so corny? Why is he trying to be Batman? But he's unhinged. The more and more his performance goes on, you realize this guy's a psychopath. He's crazy. He's doing this on purpose. It's part of the performance. His persona, his aura goes from Bane to the Joker after he unmasked. It's an aura shift unlike any other. He becomes a troll. Now, he's not a physical threat for Oliver as much as he is mentally, because Oliver is more experienced and skilled than him. Adrian Chase has only been training for 4 years. Granted, that's crazy that he's able to be... He's talented as fuck. If he trained as long as Oliver, he'd fucking whoop everyone. Oliver was almost Ra's al Ghul. So he would beat Adrian Chase 9 times out of 10 in a fight, even though Adrian does really well. It's the mental. He mind fucks Oliver. He made Oliver admit to liking killing. He destroyed and broke Oliver's mind. He didn't even need to torture him that much physically. He made Oliver quit. He made Oliver quit everything. Adrian Chase murders his own wife when she finds out who he is. He's unhinged. Everything is about Oliver. It's personal. It's not like Damien Darko wants to blow up the entire world. No, it's personal the way it should be. It's more personal than Slade ever was. He pretends to give up. He pretends to be defeated. Oliver reveals to him, oh, your father disowned you. His whole thing was about, oh, I'm getting revenge for my father, but now it's gone deeper. That's like a very small motivation. He's actually obsessed with Oliver. So he tricks him into thinking he's given up, where he has a huge plan. And the entirety of the last season is him trying to get Oliver to kill him, which is stupid to me because they shouldn't have made Oliver literally become a killer at the beginning of the season and randomly just say, no, I'm not going to kill this one dude because I killed low-level thugs who were useless in the first episode of season 5, but I'm not going to kill the guy who literally kidnaps my entire family and threatens to kill the entire city. Stupid morals. I hate it when they do this in superhero stuff, but fine, whatever. He's such a big threat. He teams up with Talia and Evelyn Sharp. He kidnaps everyone Oliver loves. He's planned. He's 10 steps ahead of Oliver. Oliver needs to team up with Slade, Malcolm Merlyn, and Nyssa. This is the end game. The Avengers end game and Infinity War of Arrow is right here on the island Lian Yu, where it all began, where him and Slade are teaming up. Slade always worked better as an anti-hero accomplice than a villain to Oliver. And Adrian Chase was the man who did it all, who allowed this all to happen. He gave us Infinity War. And it ends with him having Oliver's son on the boat, threatening to kill him. Oliver shoots him in the leg, gets his son back. And Adrian Chase has a dead man switch. He threatens to blow up the entire island, and he shoots himself to do it because Oliver wouldn't kill him. It's beautiful. It's such a brilliant ending to this character who's psychotic and obsessed. But the problem is, his death was in vain. Felicity somehow gets access to an iPad. She's a hacker god, apparently. If one iPad and she can hack into the connection of these bombs, like what? She manages to buy them time, and even though the bombs all blow up eventually, the only one who dies is Oliver's baby mama, who no one gave a shit about in the first place. We don't care about this character. This isn't someone that Oliver even gives a shit about. She dies. No one cares. Thea gets put in a coma for 2 days. Like, what the fuck? Everyone lives. Why? Why we need to trim the fat? Why are we just adding on to the bulk? And then we set up this random hacker villain because Felicity set him up, and he's the villain for the first half of season 6, and then we get him, and he's a decent villain, don't get me wrong, but season 6 becomes mid as shit because it's still focused on Felicity drama and all this dumb shit. The first half of season 7 is okay with the prison stuff. I like that a lot, but then it turns to crap when it focuses on a sister who's a bad villain. I don't care what anyone says. And then the last season is a love letter to the fans. I enjoyed that, even though it ends with him and Felicity in heaven, which is so fucking cheesy as fuck, but whatever. This could have been a much better show if he didn't die in vain. His last words when he dies is Felicity. He literally says Felicity as his last word. Do you know how powerful it would be if she fucking died? After that, the ultimate consequence of all of this entire battle was Oliver's love dying. He and her just rekindled it, and she died. This was a great setup for her death, because remember, when Laurel died, they set her character up to have great moments before her death. They made episodes that were central to her. They did the same thing with Felicity in season 5, except they don't ended with killing her. It makes no sense. She should have died. Wild Dog should have died. We need to kill a lot of these teammates off. Curtis should have died, but we know that the writers would never kill him off for obvious reasons. Keep Slade. He has so many subplots you can go to, but the problem is Arrow, the show, stupid and wasted Slade Wilson and Manny Bennett's character. They didn't do anything with him. Keep Diggle. He's the rock of the show. Keep Dinah Drake. Sexy Dinah Drake. Why? Because we can still have our comic accurate ending with Black Canary and Oliver Queen getting together. It might not be Laurel Lance, but keep it. We're not going to redeem Black Siren either. Why the fuck would you redeem this character? She is a terrorist who's killed multiple people on her planet, and teamed up with the villain every single time to try to kill Oliver's family. She should not be redeemed ever. She should be freaking a villain. I hate it when they try to redeem characters who are morally bankrupt. It's so fake. We need consequences. Felicity and a couple other Team Arrow members who Oliver really liked dying would be the ultimate consequence. Prometheus' death could not be in vain. Do you know how awesome this villain is? He gave us Infinity War of Arrow, and you still just kill him off, and you kill him off, and in the process you only kill one character no one cared about? Fuck off. Now, people would say, Zafy, you know killing characters arbitrarily doesn't make a show better. Do you think really killing Felicity would have made it better? Yes! But why? It's not just her. You need to kill off a bulk of people because we need to trim the fat. We need less characters. I don't care about Wild Dog. I don't care about Curtis. I don't care about Felicity. Remove them. Less drama. As Felicity goes, we get less melodrama. We get more badassery and a comic accurate end with these two getting together. Now, CW probably would have written them to have some drama, but them getting together and raising William would have been much better than him and Felicity, who get into fights every 2 episodes. Okay? That's why Prometheus is a G. He's the GOAT of this show. He almost redeemed it. Season 5 carried Arrow after season 4's abysmal ending. And they couldn't even let his death lead to any consequences. I wanted Felicity gone. If you want to know how Zoom was the GOAT villain of the Flash almost, until they kind of ruined him, Loki, and fumbled the Flashpoint plot, watch this video here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movie theories with like-minded individuals in a community geared towards changing storytelling itself, join the free Discord now. The link is in the description below and probably in the comment section too. Join the Discord now. We're taking over Hollywood one Coke line at a time. See you on the other side.